Welcome to the most outrageous podcast in the world. I might have used that adjective before, but this is very fitting.
At least you said it right.
Let's go. This is definitely an outrageous podcast, and we all love this. We are not dead, or we're not dead. This is a We're Not Dead podcast. My name is AJ.
Waka.
Jay.
Ace.
Welcome.
Awesome. Oh, we almost made it. We almost made it.
Close. So close.
So close.
Hey, it's hard with that delay.
In this podcast, this is a podcast of a podcast for We're Alive Descendants. If you haven't listened to We're Not Dead to We're Alive Descendants on its current episode, so please listen to that first. Come back here and enjoy us. Enjoy our theories, all the things that we say ridiculously and outrageous, and then don't listen to this first because it's gonna have a lot of spoilers. This episode is chapter 16.
Yes.
Episode 1 of Train Through the Pain. I actually like that title. That title speaks volume in this episode. And we have how many episodes? 2, right?
What?
I'm pretty sure we have 2 episodes for this chapter.
And this one, I think it's a 2-part.
Yeah,
probably.
2-part episode. Yep.
Did it say part 1?
No, it's part 1 of 3.
Is it a 3-part episode?
It's a 3-part episode.
It's a 3-part episode? Oh, nice. Look at that. We got 3
I'm not gonna lie, I missed it entirely.
You didn't listen to it?
No, I missed
What are you doing here?
Title
No.
entirely.
I just show up, man. I just show up.
I thought I'm the one that just shows up here.
He's the perspective of not knowing anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know that guy that just looks like an idiot the whole time. He's like, that one.
Anyway, what do we think about this episode, guys?
A lot of
thought it was fun.
information. It was good.
I thought it was fun.
It was pretty chill.
Really cool setup.
Yes, exactly.
Really cool setup. It was cool seeing the dynamic more of Nick and Will.
I did like that one too.
It was a lot more playful until obviously it got a little bit more deep, which kind of always happens with them. But it was cool seeing them just kind of stick with the more playful for most of it.
Yeah. What I felt about this episode is it's a lot of callbacks in this episode. The water tower, the first gen, which, by the way, we were all wrong. We thought all first gens are gone. Nope.
No, apparently
Casey
not.
said,
Well, because
you guys are wrong.
We were thinking first gen were strictly back then, like when this the breakout first happened.
Yeah.
But first gen is just they get turned. They were human and then get turned.
process,
That's the first gen. Second and third gen are the descendants
Yeah,
of them, which makes sense.
Right.
And so,
Kind of created a much more terrifying world in my eyes, but
yeah, because
that means that they are strictly breeding and everything. It
Yeah, well,
wasn't
we
just
knew they were
Pink
breeding.
being a hybrid where he was breeding. Before, I wasn't 100% sure how much of the breeding they were.
well,
because
they've talked about it
we
with the
can-
clans and stuff like that. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
we had experienced clans, but I don't remember hearing much specific about the breeding down the line and stuff like
I
that.
think it was.
And did ask Casey if they're doing it, and he didn't answer me. He just laughed.
That was in one of the.
I think
that was in one of the podcasts that
I
we
think I'm
had.
with you. They said something about them breeding.
They did, because I think the name of the podcast that we labeled it was something about zombie sex or something.
Yeah, it's because of that, but it wasn't really confirm that that's the case. Because he laughed, and also it's more of a
It's one of those
episode. I
heavily
remember.
implied.
Yeah. So
Well, now it's confirmed.
yeah, now it's confirmed.
Yeah.
The zombies are infected.
Right.
Sorry,
Exactly.
infected are.
And then
doing it.
Another callback is the lock picking and how they learn it and things like that. So it's a lot of callback in this episode of what had happened in Story of Survival.
Did anyone else? At least for me, it was a resurgence. But did anyone else have the desire to learn lockpicking? Because I've always wanted to do that. They have lockpicking sets on Amazon, and I want to order one.
Yeah.
But I also want to look into the laws of owning lockpicking stuff, because there are laws for it. But
Oh, really?
I've always wanted to learn how to do it, just for sake of doing it, instead of using a credit card, which I've never done.
I'm part of the family.
I understand the theory of it, and because some reason how my phone picks up what I mention or say, and these lock picks
Your
comes
phone
in
hears
my
everything.
Yeah, that's true. We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So it came up on my feed a bunch of lockpick videos about tools making it easier to lockpick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They
The rakes and
allow
stuff?
This?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can just
Did
make
you
it
see that
crooks.
one TikTok video with the guy? He has just one product for everything. He just slides it in, and then that's it. No, he doesn't even do
yes,
that.
I
Pam,
saw
pam,
that.
pop.
Yes, yes.
And then people
Oh,
are
yeah,
like
they're-
challenging him.
yeah.
It's like, hey, can you do it with this brand? Can you do it with this brand? It's like, yeah, done. I'm like, what?
I've seen that before.
And
Yeah.
every single comment's like, why are you showing people this?
You're just, showing insecurity right now.
No, not just that. It's like now you're encouraging people. I can break into people's houses now.
I can do whatever I want with that
Exactly.
thing.
And that's why you need to hire me to install security cameras. Just saying.
You cannot lockpick that.
This is not a promotion. It's just suggesting
Yeah,
that you can
exactly.
hit
Just
up
saying,
on.
if you're interested.
It's also interesting to me that's one main thing that they teach in the family is lockpicking. You know what I mean? Like how useful is lockpicking for them? That's like
It's
a pillar.
repeated quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a
and it's
pillar
very
of
it's very
family.
pressed in kind of thing, like drilled into them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
full
then,
pun
It's
yeah,
really
the-
cool, all the steps that we're already learning, like with her like initiation, like
Exactly.
tasks. It's really cool because everything is such like a niche skill, but at the same time, it's like, how many times do these people use it? Like these are extraordinarily practical skills.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, we don't have this, so we're not gonna think about it. And it's like, no, they have it, so that means they're always using these skills.
Yeah, because think about it, right? Something that might have happened in the past for them to be like, we have to teach people how to lockpick. You know what I mean? Like something somewhere
Pick
in the
locks.
past where like, hey,
Well,
we
They
don't
have, a,
know.
group- they have a family specifically designed around being spies.
Yeah,
Like that was part of their founding, is being spies.
right.
So,
Yeah.
That
No,
kinda
but
just
what I'm
comes
saying,
back
it's like,
everywhere.
what have they been surrounded with locks to be like, hey, this is becoming a problem. We need to learn this,
Yeah.
like a standard operating procedure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
imagine
mean-
that.
anything important, like, is going to be in a lockbox or locked
Yeah.
drawer and stuff like that. So it's like, how do we get around it?
Michael,
Know how to
Michael's
get through it.
window.
Yeah. All right. So we started the episode with an infected growling and heard something. The infected started to run, and then the infected got shot. We found out that it is Nick and Will shooting all of the infected they encountered on the way to the train. They will hop on. Nick and Will were arguing about the number of the infected Nick has shot. Shot was 18. You know, it's like, oh, well, it's 18 now. That's another callback with the shots is Scout's Honor. Yeah,
Where
Scout's
did
Honor.
They
Oh.
counted them.
They counted them.
Yo, real quick, with Scout's Honor, dude, like, freaking congrats to Casey.
Dude,
on that. Did you guys
yes!
see that?
Wait, what?
They won an award.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Scout's Honor won an award, yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely
That's so good.
incredible. I saw
Incredible.
that from
That's awesome.
on Facebook from Casey, and
Yeah.
I got super excited.
What
I was
that
with some
means-
friends, and I got all giddy.
What
Yeah.
that means is a season 2 of Scout's Honor.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Just saying. Just saying. You got award once.
Where
you
would
might
that
as well
even
do it
be?
again. The survivors getting on land, and we find out what happens to them.
It's the Scorpion's infected version. All we heard in the whole thing is like,
From the Scorpion's point of view.
yeah, exactly.
Just ends with the choking pit.
yeah, exactly.
And that was our story.
It lasted one episode.
Yep.
Oh, that would be such like a special edition kind of thing. Just do like an episode of like from the infected point of view. That would be so cool.
and it's all Casey.
Casey and Augie,
Casey and Augie.
because he's got some good voices.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty legit.
They checked the infected and found out that it was a first gen, like what Jay said. It wasn't necessarily a first gen from Story Survival. It's a first gen that got turned. Interestingly, we have been talking about first gen, but Casey never mentioned that they are still around. Will said it probably has something to do with being close to UA. Now, due to being so big, most of UA don't even deal with infected anymore. Will explained that he overheard people from UA talking about their issues. The ultra-rich would fly out, spend their money, then go back. The UA government is against what Bohr was doing in Prim. They rarely venture past their borders. UA maintains some railroads and farmlands in the red zone. UA partners with the Republic and wants to maintain that due to the Republic monopolizing the fuel refinery.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was really cool.
Yeah, there was a
it
lot of
kind
information.
It almost gave a light that gives me hope that, like, maybe the UA is actually going to be either a completely neutral or a more good faction
Yeah. Yeah.
to come into play later on.
I'm just glad
Because I feel like Republic's gonna be. It's almost gonna be like Republic morally bad. Hopefully UA morally good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the almost neutral with Westport because of right now they're kind of waning and waxing between good and bad because of the politics.
Right. Yeah.
Seemingly.
No, absolutely. Because it's we talked about this before, that we know we're gonna find out about Republic because that's where the train is going, and we said like we're kind of bummed out. That's how we're gonna find out about UA. Now we're having a little bit of glimpse of what UA looks like. Yep.
Right.
Nick asked more about UA. We found out Westport used to trade with UA via the rail line. Now, remember our theory with Prim setting up a civil war or a war between states, between Westport, Republic, and UA through the rail line? This might get because of this, it has probably like legs or foundation believing that was the case, or that was what Prim was doing. I don't know now the Prim is down.
Gone, basically.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's the railway, and that's who they attack. Like the Prim people attack, and Westport thought it was the Republic. And who knows? That's probably what Prim is doing too to the UA and to Republic. You know what I mean? It's through the rail line.
We should only see one
Like
perspective.
they're trying to fuel the fire
Yeah,
on both sides.
yeah.
Just to spark it so they can do the rest. Okay.
Right, yeah. And then, to bring down three of them, so Prim will be the only supreme country or state.
Or
They kind of become the
traded-
ruling state.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, a trading market, because business for them is if I understand it right, when it comes to war, when it comes to stuff like that, it's good business for them because everything will start selling from both parties. They do business in Prim, right? Well,
The Republic?
before
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
humbled.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
But not UA. I don't think UA knows about Prim. Am I wrong?
I would assume Prim
They
would offer themselves to.
I would almost guarantee they know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, didn't they say that they don't agree with Prim? Like, with what Prim's doing, even? Like,
I guess so. That's
Oh,
the point.
yeah. I feel like I thought he said that if they don't agree with this, and it seems like if they knew what they were doing,
almost like they wouldn't agree, not that
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Oh,
They
I see.
won't agree.
No, I think that most people probably know about Prim, especially because of how many people come there. They said, Will said that basically the only people that he doesn't see there are people from
Yeah,
Westport.
it's true.
Well, he said they don't see a lot of people from Westport. Not that they didn't come at all.
Well,
Yeah,
that
but for
was
the
the
most
case.
part, it seems like it's mostly made of people native to Prim,
Republic.
and then the UA and
Republic, yeah.
the Republic.
Pricks.
It seems like it's
Yeah.
mostly made of those three with some sprinkled in.
Yeah, I feel like Republic agrees with what Prim is doing, kind of thing. Like they're not full support, but they're well aware of what Prim is doing.
I think
Probably.
Prim's
Yeah.
I think the Republic's taking advantage of what they're doing,
Right.
and like they are on the side of it and taking advantage of what they're doing and where they're going with things.
Yeah. No, because so what I think why Prim is doing what they're doing, it reminds me of what the Maulers did to the colony. Like have them have their own war, and then they come in and take over the whole thing once
Yeah.
they're when they're down to their knees.
Yes,
kind
I
of
agree.
Situation. Yeah. No. So then we go back to Will gave us more information about the UA. He said they have 22 states east of the Mississippi, and their capital is Bristol. I messaged Casey about this. I asked him. I said, "Hey, Will said Bristol. Is that Bristol in Virginia? Because there's Bristol in England, and clearly it's not that. Bristol in Virginia. And he said that Virginia and DC are one state now. They annexed DC.
Oh.
Interesting.
Which that does make sense.
Yep.
That actually makes perfect sense. Because like even in our world, it's like it's slowly trying to get away from doing that.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's adjacent to that already.
Yeah, because the Virginia's right here, and then Washington D.C. is literally right here. Bristol is like this side, so
Yeah.
Washington
Yep.
D.C. and then Bristol. Yeah.
Let's be honest. We already want DC to be gone.
Well, you know they want it to be a state, right?
No, yeah, because technically it's not.
Yeah, technically it's not. It's just a territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly,
then
yeah.
what's upsetting about this whole interaction is freaking Nick cutting him off. Like, bro, why? Don't cut him off.
Give me the lore drops.
I know. He said he mentioned some state. Oh no, sorry. He said I know all of that, and I said we don't know any of that.
Dude, that's literally Casey just being like, not yet.
you gotta be quicker than that. It's like
We're gonna have to write some of those questions down for when we talk to him.
Oh yeah. I have.
He told us.
I have a lot.
He told us, ask anything you want.
Yeah, I have a lot. And then he mentioned.
Let me get my binder.
He mentioned some states. One is Mariana, and I looked up Mariana. Mariana is in Florida. Nick was sorry. He also mentioned about. I messaged Casey about this, and this is what I said. I'm gonna read what I told him. Okay, I said Will said Mariana. Is that Florida, Mariana, or a made city/states in World Live Universe? Because I also tried to look up Warnock and Eden. That's what two of the states that Will said, and I said I couldn't find them. I only found Warnock, the senator.
I think those are
Yeah, I only found Warnock, the senator of Georgia, coincidentally, and Georgia is in that west side, east side. Was featured. I said this. Warnock was featured in GMA with a chef named Eden. And I said, probably just coincidental since the show was released quite recently. And he said, these are all states in the UA. You won't find them on the modern map as they are different. It's like Casey telling me, you're overthinking this. They're not real.
We already know that. It's okay. He knows we're going to call you on it,
Pretty
too.
sure that's about all we do.
As soon as they said, like, they start naming city names, I was like, that makes sense. Because now, like, over there, it seems like they're trying to make their own world. Mm-hmm. Like, they are trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
So they're, like, anything that might have, like, landmarks or, like, larger structures specifically claiming what or where it is, they're probably entirely new settlements. Like, just look at, the colony and stuff like that. Like, they weren't calling it anything other than the colony. That was its name. Yeah. Westport, like that's its name now. They're like, we have built this. We didn't take over a building. We built this.
And then he said that I sent a map a long time ago that showed them. So if you're watching this YouTube, instead of just listening on Spotify or whatever podcast you use, you can watch this, by the way, on YouTube. Soon we're gonna change the name instead of Captain Bug, but you will find this on YouTube. You will see our faces. You will see what we're talking about. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will post the map that Casey sent us. It's gonna be in this moment. If you didn't see the map, that means I didn't find the map.
I was gonna say I don't know about this map.
He said he sent it.
You
So
got debated.
Oh, where did he send it?
You got debated.
I think he sent it on Facebook. I think.
Oh, okay.
I'll
So do
find
you?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, find it.
Yeah.
No, find it right now.
Now, Nick was talking about Westport to Will and telling him that there are good people there. He was about to tell him that Vera is the daughter of CJ, but he hesitated.
And he failed at it.
And Will said, "You don't trust me." Yeah, he did fail on it. Yeah.
He came when Nick paused, and then Will, having that little moment, and then Nick comes out with a term in the military, like Operation Security.
Yeah.
Just moments later,
I was
bro.
weak.
I know. I was weak. You couldn't even last it.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that with Lisa and Vera, so I mean, that's not surprising.
You smooth talk to all the women. You couldn't smooth talk this one out.
Our boy's weak. Come on now.
Yeah, he failed. But
Will asked a lot of questions about Westport. While Nick was giving too much information, I myself, Will was giving an informant vibe. Like, he's asking too much question.
I was curious about that too. I'm like, is he getting at something? Like, are we gonna have a twist on
that's
Will
what I was
here?
worried about. I was
kind
like,
of situation.
I know.
Like in Arizona?
I didn't want to think it.
I was thinking that too, because he was asking a lot of very interesting questions that
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's Nick just handing it to him on a
Yep.
silver platter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because I really want to believe like him to be like completely innocent and to
Yeah.
be like the guy who just has never experienced, and so he's asking because he just wants to know.
Right.
I
True.
want him to be Tommy. I want him to just be the smart guy who
Or
craves
smarter.
knowledge and gets knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
probably
the difference is he just has experience over Tommy. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if all of his statements were true of like, hey, if I'm going to live there, I should know.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if we were stuck in Prim in the research area for our entire life, we'd want to know what this other place was like too.
Research
But
the motor pool.
but
it
it's
like,
did
something
just
goes-
sound a little sketch at times because he just kept going and going about operational information kind of thing. And
No, I agree. I just didn't want to believe that Will is, a double agent kind of guy. But he's just smart, and because he's so smart, maybe he's just asking the right questions and not knowing that he's asking the right questions. Because later on, you'll notice how smart he is. I mean, we already know it, but he knows this about
Yeah.
parts on vehicles, how long someone died, how
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
poses.
yeah.
Like, bro, Will.
so if he is a double agent, how is that going to play out? Is he a double agent for the Boar? Is he a double agent for
100%.
Yeah.
100% with the Boar.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, if he is.
It would be with Boar.
Yeah.
Dang, that's scary. I hope we'll do
No, because if you think about it, if he's attached still, like there's a lot of variables in this that could play out. But one of them is if he's really attached to Stardust, he will exchange that information to the Boar.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
know
I
what
was
I mean?
worried about, man.
Yeah.
I just want to believe that he's just very smart, not knowing.
Oh,
that,
absolutely. That's the vibe that he's giving right now.
Yeah.
Besides the informant, it's like this is an innocent kid that just want to learn everything.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's gonna be one of those people that's very helpful, like Datu, and then die.
No, I would prefer that fitting ending versus him betraying. I prefer that ending to be fitting.
Protect my boy.
But I want Will to live. I want him to keep going.
Yeah. And then speaking of the informant, we'll ask about his immunity. He curiously wondered if the immunity is transferable.
Again, something that seems a little, interesting, but could be.
Yeah. I mean,
be.
so I put myself in his position. I would ask the same question. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, hey, how can I get some of that, bro?
Like, I want to be a man too. I mean, if you won't turn, I don't want to turn either.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to say I wouldn't trust you, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust him.
But part of me believes this is just an indirect way for KC to introduce the backstory of
Yes.
what
Yeah.
Nick and his grandma went through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what he said in that previous comment. CYAs, cover your butt. You know what I mean? All this information. I'm not gonna give this to you, just in case you're wondering. Hey, have you done any tests? Yes, we have.
Exactly.
Nick told a story about himself and his grandma. They spent years getting poked and tested to see if the immunity is transferable. Will pushed more, kept wondering if they have any more chance, which made Nick upset. It is interesting. I feel like this is a way, like a window opening. Casey telling us, what are you doing?
I was bringing up our last week's, but
Casey telling us that there might be a way that it's transferable.
I think there probably is.
There
They just
might be a
haven't
way.
figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Will is on the right track. It's just
Yeah.
I think Nick just got tired of all the poking.
Yeah. Do you think that's how? Sorry, go ahead, Ace.
I was gonna say, I couldn't even imagine, dude. Like, I'm sick of getting poked and prodded from my own stomach stuff, and I mean, mine was stuff to medically keep me like alive for the most part.
Right.
I mean,
I had in 5th grade alone, I had over 50 IVs. Like, that doesn't take into account all the other crap that they were trying to test, trying to find out what I had, like what illness
That's
I
fair.
had, and all that stuff. And that was just the one year. That doesn't include the 12 years it took to find out what it was, and then the 30
Right.
years of living with it.
I can
and
imagine it being a bad experience
the
for
other stuff.
Nick at a young age. So yeah.
I've had I've been poked and prodded my entire life because of allergy shots and asthma and being in the ICU and stuff like that.
And Botox.
The only time it's been bad experiences for me is when you get someone really bad at doing an IV and they like stick that massive needle in there and start moving it around trying to find your vein, and they're like, I can't find it, and they pull it back out, and I'm like, yeah, well, you just dug around in my body for 5 minutes. How about you go get somebody
Okay, you
who
just
knows?
severed it.
You were just you were just in me. You buy me dinner first.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think the title that we discussed, that fits.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, I get allergy shots, and obviously nothing compared to you probably, Ace. But I mean, I get multiple shots every week.
Question
basically.
is, Ace, is your syringe animated too?
Bruh.
What's really crazy? So I used to
My next outfit's gonna be
inject
a
myself with
hospital
something. That sounded really sketch. It was
Ayo!
It starts with H and rhymes with Ewan.
no. It was a hormone to help reduce blood sugar because I deal with high blood sugar, and so. But you would have to just inject it into your stomach and then do it. It is really weird, like you yourself, like stabbing yourself with a needle, because it's just like, what if I stab too hard? What if it goes through all of my skin? What if it hits something else? Like, and it's just like, this is really a tense thing. Like the doctor showed me, and he was just like, whoop, and I'm like, dude, like that's all right. I'll try it, but it's a little weird. Like you have that same mental block when like obviously your brain prevents you from hurting yourself, right? So even though it's just a needle that literally just slides in to your skin, it's still that same thing of like, I'm doing potential harm to myself because you're stabbing yourself with a needle that you can barely see. But it's really weird. It's a really weird feeling, like doing that. You have to do it like in a quick motion to get it in there.
Oh wow.
And then it was interesting. But
Do you have to do it to yourself, Ace?
No. I don't got to do any poke and prod into myself.
Yikes.
Right now, I don't have to do much of anything for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I need to go have surgery to get metal plates removed, but that, for the most part, that's all I've got right now. Oh,
Yeah.
that, and I, can't get flicked by a toddler.
Yeah, I downgraded to cocaine. All right, so
Oh my gosh. How does that relate?
no, because of the smoking heroin to go down. Oh, come on. Okay. That made Nick upset. They found the Red River / Brown River. Will expressed that if they encountered some infected that doesn't get affected by regular bullets, he suggested getting some ammo for the Mata pistol. Nick pushed back and said they don't have time and they need to get to where the train is going to pass. Will checked the map and revealed that they had to walk even through the night to get where they were heading. Will thinks they are not supposed to make it there, which is kind of ridiculous if it's true. And I said this, which kind of makes sense due to family rules. The family rules that this compound should be secret. You know what I mean? So for Oliver to do that, if that's the real thing, if Oliver to do that and have them killed on the way, it's a win-win for him. You know what I mean?
I think that's a half truth. Like, I think that's half the goal.
I mean,
I think that he set the goals and he set like the time and stuff like that, but with someone of the family as the marker. So a family member can get there on time because they're training,
gotcha.
like they're more well trained and stuff like that. So he's like, "Oh yeah, you can definitely do this. So you can do this, but they probably won't because they're not as disciplined. They're not as strong as the family."
I think they also just went slow.
Yeah, well, with all the
exactly.
shooting
Like, they don't
that
have
were
that
doing.
same urgency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got old.
Does it mention where they're near in Louisiana right now?
They did. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
I'd
get that here.
I tried to triangulate everything that was mentioned of the places that they mentioned. It's really hard to like pinpoint it, but I believe somewhere in the south of Louisiana.
Yeah, because they're 20 miles from the river. So.
Yeah, so they decided to spend the night somewhere, which is smart, and they're going to stop at Marksville, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Well, let me I'm trying to bring that up and take a look at it.
Got him.
Yeah, Marksville.
I
Louisiana.
literally listened to it an hour
If
ago.
you just
and I don't remember
waited
that.
for me like a few seconds, I told you.
Marksville,
Would you pan his camera a
Louisiana.
little bit?
Me? What?
Cut him
What?
off.
What?
Do it
My
again.
way.
What?
Yeah, my way.
What?
Jeremiah, sorry.
Me? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Your camera.
Now, they got to the town in Marksville, Louisiana. Will suggested the water tower. Callback. Nick said no, which is funny because we find out later that that's where they ended up staying.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's where they ended up staying. It's
Wait,
like,
was
no, we're not going there.
Oh,
I
so
don't
there
wanna
is the Red River right here.
I don't
too.
wanna. I don't wanna go up there. He said it's too high. And it's like, and that's where they ended up falling asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then while they're heading to the town, Will saw some bodies right up ahead. Dead bodies and infected bodies. Will said they have been decomposing for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
And due to his training and seeing, decomposed bodies in the arena.
Yeah.
So
Let's get this right. It's not due to his training. It's due to his experience.
Experience,
yeah.
memory, sharp memory.
Yeah.
I want to
observation.
I want to differentiate that real quick.
He didn't fight. He didn't fight.
He
wasn't
was
in the
very
arena.
observant. Like,
Well, he didn't train. He didn't study this and be like, yes, so this is how long it takes to get to this. He
Yeah.
walked in there and was like, oh,
His
that's
exposure.
how this turned out.
I just only think the amount of times that he kept passing the bodies, like, so this is how it looks for 3 weeks. The next 3, 6, or a month or two is like, oh, that's how it looks like when it passed. This guy is very observant. 6 months? Like, how long have you been watching this body?
I don't even think
gonna
it's
say, yeah.
I don't even think it's a matter of like waiting 3 weeks to see that. I think he's just seen so much dead bodies that he knows like
Yeah,
well
I believe
that's
that.
been
There's
there
that
for 6
too.
months, you know what I mean?
And
It's not
another
like
one
writing.
gone, and another one gone,
Yeah,
another one.
and you're right. I don't think he was writing it down. It's just he got exposed to all this information that
That's
is
true.
just subconsciously learn it. Yeah.
Oh, he did learn at a young age, too.
It
So-
seems like that's how he's gotten a lot of his information. Is just he's a really good retainer for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean that's how he acts, and so that's probably a safe assumption.
And
Right.
he likes to read a lot of books.
Now, let's go back to because we're gonna go to the part where they found they searched the vehicle and they found the guns.
Yeah.
They're trying to look for guns and
The
ammo
crime
and
scene.
the clothes and things like that. But before we get there, let's go back a little bit, and I want your thoughts about this. Is when Will, right, is speaking of the informant and a double agent kind of situation, or lying or being deceptive. When he told Nick that we have to walk there all through the night, do you think that he's making up that story for Nick to force Nick to stop by it somewhere, to stay the night or something like that? Because he pushed the Mata pistol and he said, I just need these pieces. If we can stop by the one place and I can get it. And then Nick said, no, we're not doing that.
No, I didn't think he was trying to have a behind the meaning kind of thing. I just figured he was able to calculate the distance between how far of the plane when they were after Vincent.
No, I'm not questioning his ability to calculate it. I know for sure he can calculate it. I just in a
You're just
matter
wondering
of
if that's exactly what
fabricating,
happened here.
fabricating it to make Nick believe that, oh crap, we're not gonna make it there.
No, I think it was just being
Yeah, like
honest.
you're saying, like, was he stating the information, or was he trying to brandish the information,
Yes.
being like, we have no chance, like, let's just go rest,
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that forced him to stop by somewhere so he can have his parts for the Mata pistol.
No, I think it was just stating the information.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was coincidental.
At least from my point of view.
Yeah. Because that's how it's like to me, it's like, oh, that's a little convenient right now that you wanted some parts for Mata pistol and Nick said no, and now we're ending up in a town.
And now,
Exactly, it's just a little convenient for my taste.
If it is, it can be. Will is smart. He'll probably just figure it out within minutes.
Well,
No, Nick.
as we
I
know
said Will.
right now,
Oh,
he
I
hasn't
think I
done
meant
anything
Will.
with that. However, didn't the episode end with them potentially reloading the
The what?
Mata pistol?
No.
No, Nick used
No.
every bullet or every ammo for it. So
Yes,
there's
but at
nothing-
the end of the episode,
It wasn't
it-
confirmed.
not confirmed, but it's what it sounds like is that they're getting stuff around to do something for the Mata pistol to take down.
Yeah, Yeah.
The muckraker.
yeah, muckraker.
My thought is this. I think I can see this happening. I can see Will working on the car and at the same time getting ammo for the Mata pistol.
I don't think he's done that yet. I think it's strictly he worked on the car, and now that the muckraker is there, they're trying to do something to get the Mata gun together.
He ran out of ammo.
All it is ball bearings.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, while he was working on the car, he was also working on his Mata pistol.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Like I can see Will doing that.
Because if they have the car, then they shouldn't need the Mata pistol.
Yeah, but he's kind of like, but by the way he explained to Nick, like, hey, what if we encounter this? You know what I mean? Then we need something else, and then confirmation of what they've seen in the place, and you know what they talked about now is the keratin growth. It's like that probably would like, okay, I probably should do this.
I mean, I could see it, but I think at that point it was more important for him to get the vehicle done, and so I would assume that he probably concentrated on the vehicle.
Yes and no. Like, yes, it could be like at the same time. It could also be like, I finished the car, now I'm gonna work on my Mata pistol.
Maybe.
You know
yeah, I'm thinking that it's possible. I mean, because he already knew what he needs to fix the car, and depending how fast he finished it, he might have just used whatever spare parts that he found to fix his, his Mata pistol. So it could be possible. He might have finished early through the night and just decided to fix.
Yeah, getting an ammo for it. What do you think, Ace?
Maybe.
I think I'm more on the side that he did just work on the car and that he didn't do the whole fix the pistol as well.
Gotcha.
Because of where the focus seemed to lie in the moment, at least. Like, I do agree. He definitely could have done it. He wouldn't have been something that's even going to be a big shocker. Like, yeah, he did it. Surprise! It's not gonna be like that. Yeah. I think that if it happened, he'll pull it out in a moment, use it. Whoa, you saved us, and it's gonna be something cool.
Yeah.
But I think the focus was the car. They weren't in a state of being. He was so exhausted. And
they were
like
both
that.
exhausted. I agree. That's right.
I'd be pleasantly surprised if he was able to put the work into that.
Yeah.
As well as fix up the car.
Yeah, because one of two ways I can think of could happen in the next episode is it's either Nick is start shooting at this muckraker and it's not working because it's just regular bullet, right? And then Will just pull out the Mata pistol and then shot him and then down. Or Nick will tell Will, or Will will tell Nick, I can't assemble an ammo if you distract him first. And that's what's going to happen. He's going to distract him while Will is working on a new ammo.
It could be.
And I could see more of that side.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
Did they state where they came from? Like this episode, they stayed in Marksville. Did they state where the house was near in Louisiana?
They mentioned it was a blue house.
Yeah, I looked it
up. That
does
not help in terms of the state.
I looked it up, and there's none. And I tried to trace what it looks like, but I feel like
it's impossible.
Louisiana.
Yeah, it's Louisiana.
That's Louisiana.
Because I'm trying to figure out where they might have crossed in terms of Red River. I know Casey probably didn't put that much thought into it.
Like location?
Yeah, like the location and the actual path. But I'm like, it seems like on some things, like with Scout's Honor, we could find everything they went to. And so, like, I'm looking at Google Earth, and I'm like, I see Marksville, I see the Red River.
Technically, Story Survival, too. You can see where, like, the path where they're going.
You can see a lot
of
it.
The difference is all in timing. It's like, it's years into the infection versus the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, everyone knows where everything is.
That's true.
You take a left, you're heading into downtown. You take a right, you're heading to the market. Like you know that stuff. As to where now it's like,
nearly
well,
2 decades
if you
later.
go to what was downtown, you're gonna go into an infested hole.
But
if you go right, you're going to the colony.
I want to see if where like potentially the actual water tower is. Like,
Oh yeah. While they were thinking about what had happened, you could hear the supposed action sequence that had happened in the background.
It was my favorite
the
so far.
Screaming, the gunshots, and
when they found the people.
Yeah, when they found the people.
It was very creative.
Infected and UA people fought another infected. infected and UA people fought another infected. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a 3-way Mexican standoff.
Right. Will said they have keratin growths for hide. It's like our nails for hide. That's interesting. So when he was mentioning this, I was in my head, and this is so impossible, okay? It's just my imagination, guys. Relax, do not attack me. In my head, it's like...
don't trust his imagination, guys. It's a trap.
My head is like the UA people have their own infected pets. Finding out they're infected.
I mean, it happened
In Prim?
No. What's the other zombie show?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. They'll have their own pets. Hey, go attack them.
To get them.
Yeah. So it's not a for sure, because even when towards the end when Will and Nick saw that big muckraker, he said that's probably the one that attacked him, and Nick is not sure. So this could be a new infected, or this could be a muckraker with
A huge body.
With keratin growth as a hide.
Well, I think they agreed that it was a muckraker.
No, they agreed that. I'm talking about like the same infected that attacked this dead people.
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
infected.
okay,
It's
okay.
the same one that they saw later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I definitely am under the assumption that it is. It's
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Yeah.
question on that.
Right.
When I first heard the,
but I mean, we could always find out otherwise.
when I first heard this, the scene, and they were describing what the big infected could be, I thought, oh, this is probably where they found Bill or Fredo. I was like, no, that's fair. That's that's too far out there.
Yeah.
Fredo. I think they found Fredo in the island, right?
No,
Was that the case? Because we were thinking about if what the heck is his face in Scout's honor, the good counselor.
the good counselor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Blaine?
No.
the head, the one that
The one that like
respects
always
power.
won,
Joe.
except for
Joe.
Yeah, we
I
think
can't
that
believe
Joe
I'm the one
is
that remembered the
Fredo.
name.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because that was who Blaine fought in the end of the series.
Yeah.
But we assume, well, I assume, at least
that.
me, that was not Fredo, Buffalo Bill.
Bill. Yeah.
Yep, Buffalo Bill. Okay, so Will suggested getting their guns or ammo. Nick explained that those are old. Will said, how about their clothes, since they are boarding a UA train? This is pretty smart. This is really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually such a good idea.
I know. Like, even to the point that Nick said, that's actually a good idea.
He was like, wait a second, why didn't I think of that?
I know. Nick thought he was talking about the clothes that the corpse were wearing. Will clarified that he's talking about the spare clothes. Dude, Will knows too much. Like, too much, bro. How does he know that there might be potential spare clothes in there? You know what I mean? Like, what?
It's a good call.
And no, it's a great call.
Well,
Like,
the bigger question is, why didn't Nick think of that?
yeah,
Nick,
They're soldiers in uniform.
yeah, I know.
That's what they should be thinking. Like, soldier probably has something.
Nick drops the ball consistently.
Yeah, because even Will is the one that thought about the IDs. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. The only thing that Nick did in this whole thing is choosing the ID. That's it. Choosing whose ID he's gonna wear.
That's so true.
That's about it.
That's so
Nothing
true.
else. Will carried this whole thing. They decided that Nick is Chris Danes and Will is Jess Forrester. Guess what? I googled them. They're not that important. I mean, they're important in their own field.
That's
but
wild.
That's wild.
So they're real people?
Yeah, they're real people.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
there's people
Dang.
there's a Chris Danes, a film director, and Jess Forrester, a doctor or something like
Chris
that. They're-
Dane?
Yeah, Danes, Danes.
Oh.
And Jess Forrester or Jessica Forrester.
Chris Dane is an actor.
Yeah.
He looks pretty cool.
Now, Will is gonna work on the car overnight because they found the fuel. Sorry. Oh, no, sorry. Here we go. Will found a fuel tank full of fuel. They decided to find a car so they can drive. They went car shopping. This is such a great scene. You know what I mean? This is so refreshing. This is like Will. Will is even like talking back to Nick. Are you even trying, Nick? That's so good. Because it's like this is Will's, this is Will's
area.
This is his forte.
Yeah.
I love that. It was like the drivetrain
what
is
he
literally
can
on the
do, yeah.
ground.
Yeah. Are you even trying, Nick? That was so good.
He's getting called out so harshly, like, brother.
Yeah. This is his field.
Poor man never stood a chance.
And then they ended up seeing this this one house, a blue house, right? And then Nick said, "How'd you know? It's just a hunch." And they open it and come to find out they found a 64 Nova. What is it? Sorry, I had it in here. There you go. 64 Chevrolet Nova wagon. I looked it up. It's actually a pretty neat car.
Oh gosh, that's like the old school station wagon that you would see.
Old school station wagon.
17 kids in the
Yeah.
back unbuckled.
Yeah. I wondered though, Casey, what's the significance of this car? Why this car? I want to know. Is it your first car? Your dream car?
The car he grew up in.
Yeah, the car that potentially hit you.
That
gave
sounded
you
a lot worse than I
inspiration
meant it
about
for.
real
I'm
life.
sorry. I do not assume that you grew up in a car.
But actually,
And he's like, thanks for digging up some really bad memories.
And then they found this car. Will said he's gonna work on the car overnight. And then I put it in. How likely do you think he's gonna work on getting the new ammo for the battle pistol? But we talked about it already.
Yeah.
After that, we transitioned to Vera's training. This is a good scene. Holy
I thought that was fun.
smokes!
I
She's-
loved this, like, scene by scene.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk
All the
about
way
this.
through.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about this. She started lockpicking training with Oliver. Such a fun.
It wasn't Oliver.
No, it wasn't Oliver. Yeah, it was
But
someone
it
else.
wasn't Jeremy. It was someone else.
Yeah,
thought it
these
was
were different
Oliver.
people.
It-
No.
you can tell from
I
the
was
accent.
thrown off a lot at first because the voice
Oh.
is similar enough to where I thought it was, but I was like, but something was different.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when they first introduced Oliver
Yeah.
in Descendants. I was like, it's him, but it's not him.
So-
Like, I had that kind of thought.
When I
thought it
heard
was
this voice actor, I was like, "Yep, this is very fitting." It wouldn't fit with. It wouldn't be perfect or complete if you didn't have that snobbish, deep voice,
Yes.
upright, self-centered,
Wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Damn, holy smokes, bro!
self-entitled. Yeah.
Yeah, go.
No,
he
yeah,
makes.
go.
Sorry, he makes me think of like a high fantasy setting, like D&D setting. It is the noble's tutor, like the dude that
Yeah,
just tutors
exactly.
like all like the top noble kids. It's like that.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
like Harry Potter, like Severus Snape, like dude's just
Yep,
like
exactly.
hoity-toity above everybody. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like
Yeah,
you can't do anything. You're just kind of.
you can't.
He's
do
like,
it.
you're kind of a loser, so just do what you're supposed to do. Like, okay.
Yeah, but she like proved him wrong. It's like, you're gonna break
Yeah.
it. You're gonna break it. Nope.
I was waiting. I was like, come on.
I know.
Just
I didn't know
give,
the whole time.
Give him the shove it up there moment.
I actually expected it to break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
She did it.
I expected it to too. I was hoping that it wouldn't. I was hoping what happened would be the
Again.
result. But I thought it was gonna snap and she was gonna get like super angry.
Yeah. No, she's proving everyone wrong.
They
She
even
started.
say that she's doing better than expected.
Yeah, and she said that to Oliver. I'm gonna. Some people took this months or years to finish, but she said, nope, I'm gonna finish it as soon as possible. After the lockpicking, we went to this guy's training with someone. I wonder if this is Jody, like an older Jody from Lockdown.
No,
You know what I mean?
Jody.
No, not Jody. Was it Jody?
No,
The
you're
girl?
right, Jody. But he
Jody
wouldn't
is
allow her
the
in
one
there.
from Lockdown,
Huh?
but nah.
She's not there. He wouldn't allow them to be there in the family or work for the family.
Yeah, but he.
I
said
think
that.
they're there somewhere. but
Yeah,
I don't.
No,
think
they're
this is
there.
any-
Absolutely, they're there. Like I would say about
Because
95%.
he had talked about like special circumstances,
Yes.
and stuff like that. So
Yes.
I think they're around. I just like they might be like just outside of the family's housing or something like that, or they might be inside, just kind of like hidden away.
Yeah, because remember, Vera used the same thing, same idea to save Nicoma. That's why
Yes.
Nicoma's there, for that reason. Special ability, they're used. That's why they're there.
Well, that's true, but
So that's what I was, because because to me, if you make Jodie's voice more mature and older, it could fit. It could fit. And then the knife throwing, I'm surprised that this is not fingers. But the knife throwing, I know. I wonder if this Bogart. That's what I put in here.
Bogart.
Yeah, the other guy.
No.
Yeah.
Nah. He's too pacifistic. Like.
Oh yeah.
But
I wonder if
that would be an interesting twist. But
so the knife scene, right? I wonder
Yeah.
what he just described in terms of the steps of how to throw it. I was like, I wonder if that's the proper way to throw it, because I gotta be honest. I tried it at home. Like, just hold the knife like you're shaking someone's hand, and let the knife through. It's like, okay, I'm thinking ninja style, going like this, or just
it's like this.
Yeah.
And so you release it at a certain point, and when you
like
release it,
the
weight of the blade is sent forward to propel it forward into the thing.
It doesn't spin.
You generally don't hold it by the handle. You hold it by the blade, I think, though.
I think that depends on the distance and depends on your training. Yeah. Because if you want to know how to properly throw a knife, you watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because apparently Angelina Jolie did the training for knife throwing.
Yeah, she went nuts with it.
She went nuts with it.
When we had the axe throwing thing at Journey at Blake's house, somebody, I don't remember who it was, actually had throwing blades.
Oh.
And so we brought them to that, and we would throw them at the axe throwing thing, and a little more difficult, but it was kind of cool getting some of them stuck.
Kind of weight to carry it through.
Yeah, you got to throw it and release it at exactly the right moment, otherwise it'll rotate too much, and if it rotates too much, just like an axe, it will hit on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And
So in the knife thrower, the guy that throwing knives, I'm not gonna lie, I was waiting for him to say something, just small clues like Vera saying, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I kind of hurt my leg," or something to give him a hint.
You wanted some clue.
This is the guy who killed Michael.
oh, that would have been
You were just itching for that clue. I don't think the person that did it is anywhere on scene.
Yeah. Well, dude.
I really hope it's not her. I hope it's not her. I'm enjoying the character.
So then we go to doing codes for communication. This is such a relief. This is another thing that I feel like Casey's like, I'm gonna cover my butt or cover like information to tell you how Vincent sent us this information.
Giving the confirmation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which she confirmed that. Basically doing codes, and you can use any phones as long as you know the codes. That's interesting. You can use any phones.
Not any phone, but any Morse code system.
Yeah.
So telegram, right? Yeah, telegram.
Yeah.
But
to send information. That's cool.
I thought that was fun.
And then this next one. This is not just driving, right?
I'm thinking it's a simulator, but this might be an actual.
No. I get that, but what is the training about driving?
I guess.
But what?
There was
the next one after
the next test
code,
that she had to go. Yeah.
The code for communication when she's getting shot.
Yeah, she was in a vehicle trying to supposedly, I guess, escape. I'm assuming
Yeah, 'cause
there's
she said-
obstacles in front of her.
Oh, I didn't put that together. I thought she was just trying to sneak.
Yeah, she's trying to sneak, but it sounded like she was driving.
Yeah, I think she was driving.
Yeah, because she's like, you gotta go faster. It's like, you want faster? And then she's like, she asked, are they seriously shooting at me? And then he said, shooting, yes.
I love that line.
But seriously?
No.
Seriously?
No.
I thought that was
Yeah.
funny.
Exactly.
I thought that was really funny.
That was such a cold line for no reason.
Right. Because he also said in the first part, they saw you. So it's a combination of both trying to sneak out.
I don't. If it
driving.
was a matter of hiding, then she definitely wouldn't be driving. Because how are you
But
going to
it
hide
is
a car?
driving, though.
Well, so I don't think it. I think yes, it's hiding because I think she was supposed to be using it wherever she was driving that terrain to not get caught by the shooter. So I'm assuming she's not just on a flat track or something like that.
I think there's like
probably.
obstacles.
Yeah, she's probably in either a hilly area or in a city like scape to where you very much have the ability to not get caught.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was on. That's and Casey will confirm what this training is. That's the only thing that I was confused. Like, what is that training? I mean, if it's driving, I can see that. With driving, I can see that. With just sneaking out, you know. But I just don't know how it would be both. That's the one. And then lastly is deception with Vincent. I love this. I love this one part because fourth wall breaking. Okay, this deception with Vincent. I love this because think about it, right? It's acting, practicing how to act while acting.
Yep.
That's confusing.
I'm a dude acting as a dude playing another dude.
Yeah.
Disguised as another dude.
It's practically that because it's like they're acting and then they're practicing how to act while they're acting their, their specific role.
No, you're square on it with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so true. It's so funny.
And this is so those two things with the title, the train with what is it? Train through pain. It's both Will's and Nick's, and then this one with Vera, the training through pain on what Vincent is doing to her. It's such a great title for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's talk about this training with the deception. When after the whole training, we found out that Oliver was watching them, right? And Oliver said that he doesn't trust Vincent.
He did not come out and say that, though, did he? He kind of implied it.
But he didn't really say it. But
he did absolutely everything other than uttering the physical word of "I don't."
Yeah, only because he walked up, which I'm curious about that.
He said a line that made it seem like he is an exemption of it, and I said, no, that you are squared on that. So the line where he said, when everyone here knows how to lie, how can anyone possibly understand what the truth is? I'm like, Oliver, you do fit right under that too.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone knows how to tell a lie here, how do I know you're telling the truth?
But if he's
not just that, he's the instructor.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but the thing is, yes, I agree, but Oliver sticks to the book. Vincent stick to the rules. Like, this is what we're gonna do. So whether he's lying or not, he's sticking to the books. So it's hard to say that he's lying because he's following what compared to Vincent that just disappeared, and he even said, "I'm actually surprised he brought you here." You know what I mean?
Fair.
Right.
Okay, you got a point there.
So there's something there that's a little weird for Oliver.
Yeah.
So yes, Oliver could be lying, but at the same time, he's loyal to the family.
Well, okay, I can see where you're going because Vincent,
he definitely seems very loyal to him.
In his, if you kind of pay attention to the conversation between him and Vera, it sounds like he wants some kind of change in the family. Because Vera kept saying, like, y'all follow this and that. And he says, well, glad you pointed that out. We need some new blood here.
Yeah.
So,
well, because she said you need some updates, you need some some things that needs to be changed. So with that said, that gives a little bit of like what is happening with Vincent and what does he need to change, which brings me to I'm gonna talk about. I know we're gonna talk about this later on. To one of our, I was so frustrated. I messaged you guys about this. The comment the comment about this, and I was like, dude, it's right on our face. How come we did not know this? It's so crazy. Right here, Dark Elite 3000. First of all, thank you so much for commenting this. It's such, I had to punch myself in the face, not because you figured this out, but because how did we not know this? Is so simple and it's amazing. He says, not sure if you guys said this already and the show hasn't explained it yet, but I think Vera noticed a stuffed pig's head hanging outside the Iram house. Vincent mentioned there was some significance to it, but didn't explain further. Since the house belongs to the Chisholm, Vincent, and the boar is a Chisholm, boar, pig.
Yes.
There's probably a link I'd like to know more about. This could also potentially connect for your theory of hogs. This is a pig. Hogs.
I
being
just
part of
realized
the Chisholm. Dude, what?
I mean, we always thought that he could be part of the family, but Hogs make sense because you know how Oliver mentioned that, like, for the name Blackburn, it may have changed over time because now there's a family called the Black.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying right there.
Dude.
It's
That's
possible.
It'll be
crazy.
interesting.
And now I had Walker look this up before we started. Casey commented, where is it? Sorry. There you go. Yes, very much so. Also, it's meant to give a visual to a listener to associate with. It's subtextually helpful since we have no visuals. The boar's name, the animal of the Chisholm house, is a boar. The tusks are on the rings. If you're inclined, do a little Google of Clan Chisholm and boar. What did you find?
Okay, so this is just Wikipedia, not some specific site. So according for Clan Chisholm, according to Alexander Mackenzie, who is a Scottish historian, the Clan Chisholm is of Norman and Saxon origin. Tradition stating that the Chisholms were a Norman family who arrived in England after the conquest of 1066. The original surname being the Chise, I don't know how you pronounce it, it's in a language, to which the Saxon term home was added, according to them. Okay, hold on, I'm just trying to pass through it.
Is there like the main significance? Or
Yes, I'm
anything
trying to. It's just the origin, but the significance of that family.
Well, I see something here. The boar's head is a significant symbol for the Chisholm clan, often associated with the legendary story of two Chisholm brothers saving the King of Scotland from a wild boar. The boar's head is also a part of the Chisholm family's coat of arms.
Interesting.
Huh.
Huh.
So these.
The boar's head is a central element in Chisholm heraldry, representing a fierce and untamed animal.
Untamed animal.
So they're white.
Also, on the crest, a hand holding a dagger with a dagger's point piercing the boar's head.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, I do see that logo.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
And for the boar in heraldry, I'm trying to look for what the significance of that.
Of what?
Of the emblem of the boar. The boar was used as an emblem in some instances during antiquity and the early Middle Ages. Predating, okay. What's up? Well, there's even during the Viking days and stuff.
Wow, interesting. Their motto is I am fierce with the fierce. And the clan crest is a hand holding a boar's head atop of a dagger. Wow.
It's kind of dope, actually.
I know.
Sick.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
I mean,
kinda
it
sick.
can't help to think about, Michael's death because he died with a dagger. So makes you wonder if it has something to do with the Chisholm.
I know.
And I know you hate this, Ace. So what if it's Vincent because it's part of the Chisholm, or Hogs because it's part of the Chisholm? It's so like.
It really, I cannot argue with you on like the amount of like angles that it puts towards that.
Question.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna accept it. In saying that, screw you.
What'd you say, Jay?
So the families started around the Civil War, right?
Yes.
Did that state who the original Chisholm
no,
was?
not Civil War. Not Civil War. It's England.
It started back then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how far.
Just remember
that's right.
Washington? The spice? The Washington spice?
Oh, yeah, the
Revolutionary War.
Kybering.
Revolutionary
Yep.
War. That word.
Yeah, Revolutionary War. Okay, because there's something in here about the Civil War for them, so.
They may have played a role in the Civil War.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
they
They
definitely
They probably
did.
They
did.
would've,
They
yeah.
probably have since
Oh,
then.
absolutely.
Almost guaranteed.
It's probably happened when they kicked out Dawson. It's during the Civil War. I can see that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think that would be right.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say if they actually use the OG name, but because it states somebody from the Chisholm family in the Civil War, but
Right.
it doesn't state anything before that.
Yeah.
It does state the origins, but
So another clue for Chisholm killing Michael could be in place. You know what I mean? Whether it's Vincent hogs or some other chism that we don't know yet. That could be another clue there. But yeah, that's interesting that for Oliver to imply that he doesn't trust Vincent, and then finding out who the chism is, and like makes you wonder too if Vincent knows Boar, but hasn't really like revealed yet. Because Vincent saw Boar, right?
Yeah.
They saw each other.
Yeah.
Right. But wasn't like, maybe later on, if that's the case, maybe later on Vincent will go back and see Boar or mention about Boar. We don't know. But yeah. And then after that we go to Vincent and Vera.
Wait. I'm sorry. Now, just to clarify, they actually did seen the Boar, because remember the Boar comes visit them in their room they didn't recognize each other.
Well, not necessarily recognize each other. They don't like they know each other because of that meeting, but I'm talking about like they know each other before that. Before that. Okay, so then Vincent and Vera decided to they started walking, going to the cafeteria, and they had that whole conversation about Vera saying, you know, the family needs an update, and Vincent said that whole thing. Vera said she decided to eat with Nicoma.
I completely forgot Nicoma.
That whole thing was over.
Oh yeah, you're there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were there. After that scene, Nick woke Will up, and they are on the water tower. That's hilarious. Imagine waking up, right? Imagine waking up,
bro.
And it's like, oh crap!
Almost falling off it, dude.
Right.
I had that.
Forget where you are.
That was the same.
Because they were strapped, right? They're smart enough to strap themselves just in case they fall asleep. They said that in that episode. They were strapped.
I forgot that part of the scene.
Yeah, they strapped to
But
the water
they were
tower.
up there in the water tower.
And they woke up and they saw the muckraker was standing by the garage where the car was.
Question: is there a reason why Nick didn't like to be at the water tower, or is it Nick? Because I know Will suggested.
No, he said that. He said he doesn't want to get stuck up there, up something where like super high.
Yeah,
Okay,
he didn't want to basically put himself in a corner.
Yeah. He wants to be in a upper level, but not that high.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here I was thinking, what if it's the same thing about black people not liking to swim?
Nah.
Is it probably
No,
It's not that they don't like to.
It's funny though.
I'm not going to finish that statement.
It's funny that based on the story of survival, we know that's one of the safest place to hide. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
inside?
Inside the water tower.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Skittles.
Skittles. Yeah, Skittles hid there, and he was there for a long
Yo,
time.
G, baby.
Yes, that's right. And then I ended with love the title, how it's double meaning. Vera having pain while training, and Nick and Will experiencing pain on the way to the train.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on what's gonna happen in the next episodes for this chapter?
No idea.
Isn't that the best
I was
thing
gonna
ever?
I really don't have much to say.
This is one of the most open moments we've had.
Yeah.
Since the season started, so it's really hard to say or to know exactly where we're gonna land with this week.
Yeah.
Actually, here we go. Vera's going to continue her training, and Will and Nick are going to fight the muckraker. That's about as far as my prediction can go.
I'm gonna
So
think
everything that's implied in this
pretty
episode.
much.
Right where everything ended is right where we're starting.
No, sorry.
No, he might have a point here.
Let me go back.
Let him cook.
Before the training, she will get the food and get to see Nicoma, and they're gonna eat dinner together, and then continue the training.
We're not going to hear about the dinner.
We're not gonna hear about the dinner.
Actually, we may hear about the dinner because she might convey some of the stuff that she's learned and talk to her about some
Exactly,
stuff.
because Nicoma
And
wants to know.
I think that's part of why she wanted to go back. Not entirely. I think she wanted to get away from Vincent because she doesn't want to get read by him. But
Yeah, I know. Do you think Vincent kind of read her a little bit, deceiving? It's like, I want to have dinner with Nicoma kind of thing.
yes.
What?
Do you think he
100%.
read it? Like, oh,
100%.
she knows something, or Oliver said something to her.
No.
I don't know if he'll think that side of it, but he'll definitely be like, she's not just trying to go eat.
Yeah.
She's trying to get away from him.
I don't know.
But he's good though. Like based on the training,
Yeah,
he's good. Like, hey, you're telling the truth right now, or you're not very good at what you're doing, and things like that.
He's doing like the definitional human polygraph, like, and it's great. Man.
And we know
I'm loving it.
We know who else is good with that, right?
Dwight
Kelly.
Schrute. Oh,
No, Kelly. Like she said in
sorry.
in Sort of Survival, she said, something's wrong. She's lying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Kelly might be part of the family. I'm just kidding.
The training that Vera went, do you think that all happened in one day?
No.
Okay.
I would say possibly. Only because we've only done a couple hours of Nick and Will. And so it'd be weird to do multiple days on the other side.
I think
In terms of timeline.
I don't think it will be like one day per training, but I think one or two will be one day, and then the other ones will be in separate day.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can see it being like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just practicing locks. I mean, if they're strict
Yeah,
to
but
time.
you're putting it in a way that it's easy.
Well, Vera mentioned that she can do it within a week, when everyone else is as quick as a month or two.
Right.
She said, "Put me in, coach."
And she got a good improvement from her onlookers, her observers, saying that she's doing great.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it will be at least 2 days. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, at least 2 days.
Comments?
I will say I could see it being that for her it's doing like a full week or 2 weeks, and we're not gonna hear again from her in like the next part. I could see that as to where it's kind of like it fades her story out into Nick's and into maybe like some of the OGs or Alex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I could see it being like, okay, we got a bunch of stuff from Vera. Now let's forget about Vera for a minute, and then we'll bring her back in after we've done the same amount of information for all these other people.
Right.
And you haven't actually missed time. You just got kind of like, you got the what is it called? The montage of her training.
Yeah.
And now we're just slowly catching everybody up because there's no montage for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true. That's true.
Possible.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
My camera is flipping out.
I know. I don't know why. All right. Let's talk about the. You guys ready to read the comments?
Yeah, Casey had some fun ones in
That's
there.
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I love the one it's like way stretch on that one.
Yeah.
Then he says Exodus, sure. That one is very clear, but Ark, not so much.
Not so much.
Hey, I didn't say I fully agree on that. Okay, it's a theory.
And your theory was shut down very quickly by 4 people.
Omeril Maz 958 said you can actually hear Fado in the background in the initial struggle scene. The steps of behemoths and the few grunts were in. I don't know why they didn't use the initial ominous screams and grunts, but if you listen to the story of survival jail behemoth fight scene, you can hear some of the vocals when these were fighting within themselves. So he was definitely there, I think, which Casey confirmed that Cole is in there.
Yeah, not Fredo, but Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
Yes.
Yeah, he said yes, it's Cole.
So let's go back to that previous episode. I re-listened to that previous episode because remember I was confused about the elevator. I listened to it with my headphones. So now it confirmed that Boar went into the casino area, started pushing button for the elevator to come, and then while she was pushing it, some infected comes in, and then she she fought them, killed them, and things like that. And then Alvin showed up, and then while she was talking to Alvin, you can hear that she was pushing the button again, like from behind or something, while she was talking to Alvin. And then when Cole and Buffalo Bill was there, and they're about to clash, that's when the elevator came.
Yeah.
That's the ding happened.
The little the elevator door opens right as the two collide.
Yep.
That's the ding you hear.
Yep. Oh yeah, Casey said that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Casey said the little ones that made to Fort Irwin, most of those were from the surviving caravan of people. They drove the people, not the infected. That's why that's how the little ones got into Nekoma's area.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't understand that, but
Makes
okay.
sense, yeah.
So the caravan,
Like somebody got infected, they got in a car,
Yep.
they drove, they turned.
they turned. Yep. Yeah, those are the late turners.
Okay.
Yep, the late
I
turners.
follow.
Because we know that was definitely a much more common situation.
Yeah, because it happened in Fort Irwin too. You know, the late turners happened in Fort Irwin.
That's right.
Yep. That was more. Don't scream in my ears. Oh, this is the part with Augie and Alex. That part is more of a don't scream in my ears instead of grabbing. Don't scream in my ears because he's piggybacking. I've had my ears hurt before from him screaming like it's piercing.
He said it's too personal.
Yeah, it's too personal.
Fair.
Casey said we were very worried that the rewind wouldn't work. It's a combination of rewind sound music and also reverse dialogue from the scenes. Very happy that it will all work and was clear. It was clear.
It was good.
I could
Yeah,
tell.
and it sounded really good. Like,
It was really good.
It was like the perfect tone of clear. Like there wasn't. I didn't feel like there was any room for guessing on it.
Yeah,
even. Like,
yeah. And it's not.
I
and it's
never
not
had
like
the thought of this could be something else even.
No, absolutely. And and I'm glad he didn't use the typical rewind sound like the the DJs like he didn't use that. This is more like a slow zoom 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 zoom, that's
It was good.
that's a good.
I've commented on one or two things from Casey from him showing like behind the scenes. Like watching him do some of the Foley work is absolutely incredible. If you guys have never seen it, check out some of the clips that he posts of him doing Foley stuff. It's really cool and it's really impressive. I had to do some Foley work for school. I had a whole class based around it. I think I'm gonna have another one here in the next couple months. It's all based around creating Foley for games and for stuff like this. And it's one of those things. It looks fun, looks easy. Doing it is not necessarily fun, and it's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it, but my respect level for people that do it and do find joy in it, through the roof. It is one of the coolest things to watch people who like doing it. It is one of the most boring things to watch someone who has no passion for it.
Yes.
It's literally, if you watch me do it, it's like watching paint dry. But if you watch him do it, it's like watching like almost the equivalent of watching like the World Series. Like, it's just
That's good.
So
That's good.
So one of my favorite comments was, why would the XLR be hot? Oh, the light choose it. Maybe ran for audio, not the amperage of power. And I'm just like, I love that he even responds to troubleshooting the potential issues we had on our side.
Yes,
That's
I'm
awesome.
like,
I love
I
that.
thought that was hilarious. Thank you. Thank you.
Casey said they were recorded very far apart in time, like maybe a year or more. This gives an intensity
That's crazy.
on how difficult that scene was to record. You know what I mean?
Wow.
This
Yeah.
is like maybe a year or more apart. Casey said, commenting about ask him every questions. Don't ask him about spoilers and things like that, or if Michael was in heaven. Angel too. He said, by all means, feel free to ask whatever you want. Hey, this is
We
him saying,
will.
you can ask whatever you want. That doesn't mean I'm gonna answer it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he said to us last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's not an answer.
what was the one that he said? Ding ding, you got one right.
Oh, it's the one where when I said Cole followed Bert's knife.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Oh, yep.
Cole followed Bert's
Yep.
knife. And I said, yay, I got one. Okay.
He said I did it.
I would say you get one at some point or another.
Yeah.
Hey, he broke the clock just twice today.
And then Omar Lee basically mentioned about, I hope it's not Cole, but I'm sorry, bro. Casey mentioned
It's
it
Cole.
is Cole.
It's Cole.
But it also said in the end part is, I hope I'm right about Cole, though. His original creepiness was done so well. It is true.
It was
It's
really
true.
good.
Yeah. Dude, that's it. Dude, if you guys have anything that you want to say in here, please comment and we will try our best to read them and to, make you be part of this whole We're Not Dead podcast, mentioning your name and things like that. So, Any other final thoughts for this episode?
Two things. I was very happy that Nick is imperfect. That he actually missed a shot in the beginning.
Yeah. You
So I
hear
was
the
like-
excuse that he said?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
happy.
The
But
ground.
he missed two. He missed two in that scene, didn't he?
no, just
just
one.
No, just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he missed one toward the end too, where he did like the I know, stop counting. Like
Oh no,
Oh,
I thought
he-
I thought it was like kind of like a nudge that he missed the second shot
Oh,
because
no.
of his mood.
I think he's just upset.
Because I was like, that could
Oh,
be
yeah,
insane
yeah,
foreshadowing
yeah.
if that's the case.
Right,
Oh.
right. Yeah.
But no, he it was just that, and then two, is there? I know they have a device that you can change your voice, but there's an actual mouth guard that you can change the projection of your voice.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
mouth guard, nope, the mouth guard changed the way that your teeth looked and the way that your like lip jutted out, and then they said you put something else on the top of your mouth, the palate of your mouth, to change the way that you spoke.
yeah.
So there were two different devices for the mouth.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very crazy.
But yeah,
You know, another crazy thing is he said that the wall is 50 foot high, and they were shooting from there.
yeah, they had trucks on top.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a very wide wall. I'm thinking about.
I wonder if it's made out of Titans.
Oh my gosh.
You know he wouldn't get
Please.
that reference. You know.
I understand
Yay,
Attack on Titans.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I know the show.
Okay.
My old roommates used to watch it, and I
He's
never
not
understood
old.
it. I am old. I've never understood it. I think it's,
He's like,
I
no.
think it was
Don't
really
give credit.
dumb.
Don't give false credit. Give proper credit.
Yeah. I saw some young people watching a show of giant
Naked,
naked people
eating other people.
eating other people. Yeah, like it was just stupid.
It's a food anime. Really.
It's
It's a mecha anime.
just so we're clear,
Don't you shame it.
when we
It's a
say
mecha
naked,
anime.
it's not like graphic or
no.
nudity. They're Ken dolls, is what they
Yeah,
are.
It's there.
Yeah. Why are they all smooth?
That's why they're eating people, because they want to have what
All
they
right, time. Anything else? Anything else?
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? You guys
Yeah,
have any
that's
other
it.
final
We're
thoughts?
good.
That's all
Okay.
good.
Awesome. If you guys
That's it. That's the show.
If you guys, yeah, we don't have any more after this. We're canceled. No more. No more.
No.
We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on our new channel name.
every episode we try our best to cancel. We're not there.
And we're not. Like that last episode from 2 weeks ago has 100 views. So
Yeah.
thank you, people.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'll see you guys next week.
On a serious note.
Bye, son.
Bye.
Late.
Bye.